Hi, I'm Ryan from Empower Energy. I just wanted to discuss setting up export on domestic properties through something called the Smart Export Guarantee, and also the question that we often get asked, which is, am I going to export and how much? So the first thing to bear in mind is obviously the country we live in is seasonal. It's not quite as straightforward as it once was. We seem to have our summer in all sorts of different months these years. But ultimately, it's typically weighted that the solar generation is generally around 70% of the energy is in 6 months of the year, so it is generally weighted to the summer months. If we pick an example of perhaps a domestic property that has a consumption of 8,000 kilowatt hours, and if we're installing a 4 kilowatt system that's going to generate 4,000 kilowatt hours, although that's only going to cover half of the electric that's being used, it is still likely that some of it is going to be exported. It's very common that in the summer, as well as people being on summer holidays, there's also the likelihood that people aren't in during the day, so when there's the peak generation, some is going to get exported. So we assist with everything to do with the actual solar setup, but the Smart Export Guarantee is always provided by your electricity supplier, so it's very, very important that that is set up with them. You do need a smart meter in order to do this, and that is because they're capable of half-hourly metering, which is how they can measure if you've been exporting. A couple of things that's quite important is it's not a particularly quick process. We often recommend to customers that very early on in the stages of looking to have a solar installation that you get an export meter fitted ready, a smart meter fitted ready. And a lot of the time the forms that go along with this, they're specific to each individual electricity supplier, and one of their requirements is generally that they want the DNO notification, which we issue to the DNO on completion of your job. Now, we always issue that to the DNO straight after your job, so you can be rest assured of that, but we are finding that they're taking 8 to 10 weeks to send that confirmation back to us. So please do be patient. As soon as we have it, we will give it to you. As soon as you can then pass that proof on to your supplier, they will set you up on the Smart Export Guarantee. A target rate is 5.5p is what most of the good suppliers seem to be offering at the moment. And then once that is set up, you will then be able to claim it. It is unfortunate, I'm afraid, that until that's set up, you do lose that export, but please bear in mind that by far the bulk of the investment is the electricity that you save, and once it is set up, it will go on and on forever, so it's just unfortunately a process while you wait for that. Thank you.